On this week's episode of The Splash, the Chicken Soup Scoop, the art in WB, and honoring law enforcement. Splash is a production of Civic Center TV. We're a news magazine that covers everything from local news to feature stories, also that we can bring you the latest from the greater West Bloomfield area. And now, let's dive into The Splash.
Welcome to The Splash. I'm Brooke Allen. Thank you for being with us. The Temple Shir Shalom hosted their popular chicken soup cook-off event. Tyler Keefe stopped by to get the scoop on this chicken soup.
There's plenty of hot food and warm hearts here at Temple Shir Shalom for their 10th annual chicken soup cook-off. And I'm here to get the scoop on the soup. Businesses and home cooks alike were wall-to-wall in Temple Shir Shalom, competing for the glory of best soup in West Bloomfield. But more important than some friendly competition was the spirit of giving, a tradition at Temple Shir Shalom's annual cook-off.
It's our 10th year of doing our cook-off. It's a great, fun event that benefits our community, helps out here at Temple with a couple different of our projects with our Religious School Scholarship Fund, but it also helps our young adult group and some of the programming they do. And every year we partner with a few different organizations. So one of the partners this year is I Am My Brother's Keeper, which is a shelter in Detroit that provides meals for families in need. And so some of the soup will be going to the shelter and to help them, and another organization, another shelter as well. And then the other partner organization this year is Gilda's Club of Metro Detroit, which serves our community and the larger Metro Detroit community for people with cancer and family members supporting loved ones with cancer as well. And so they'll benefit from the proceeds of this year's event too. So I used to work at a congregation in Cincinnati, Ohio that had an annual chicken soup cook-off event. And when I came here to Temple Shir Shalom, we thought, wouldn't it be a great thing to be able to do here as well? And so we started it, and this is our 10th year of doing it. Every year it grows, it gets more exciting and better. This year we have some vendors that are out, some boutique vendors that are in our front lobby selling some of their goods plus the 23 soups that we have this year as well that are a part of it.
Each cook had two missions: be declared the best soup in town and give a gallon of their tasty creations to people in need, providing the West Bloomfield warmth to those who need it the most.
You know, it's always important when you learn by what you watch. So here they are demonstrating how important it is to be philanthropic, engage a community. Everyone's aware, everyone's involved, and everyone's enjoying, but at the same time they know they're doing something that gives back to the greater community.
What's really nice, too, is the way Temple Shir Shalom organizes the event is families from Temple make the soup, and the nursery school makes the soup, and like the youth group makes the soup. So they're actually not just getting a lot of families here to support a charity event and have fun, but the families are involved with their children, so their children are allowed to actively be involved in being charitable. So it's really nice.
And while helping the community familiarize themselves with some great local eateries, the cook-off also helps to bring light to some of the organizations doing good throughout the Metro Detroit area.
One of the great things is just bringing awareness to some of the different organizations and the work that they do. So Gilda's Club, for example, is an organization that's been around town and is a fixture here in our community, but not everybody's aware of it or thinking about it at a time that they need it. The shelter every year looks forward. They can't wait until tonight when the soup comes down there, and the residents that are there and the staff that are there get to enjoy some of the soups and always talk about the highlights, and they have their own competition down there to talk about which soups are the best too.
The 10th annual cook-off may be over, but they'll be back next year with their 11th chicken soup cook-off right here at Temple Shir Shalom. In the meantime, for more ways you can get involved in doing good in our community through Temple Shir Shalom, you can visit their website listed below. In West Bloomfield Township, I'm Tyler Keefe, reporting for The Splash.
You can find more information on our website at civiccentertv.com/chicken-soup-scoop. Next up, we hear about some exciting new art at the Janice Cherrick Gallery. Ali Hadi visited the Jewish Community Center for the story.
In an age of technology where everything seems so connected, we tend to isolate ourselves even more. I met with Mike Ross, a curator of the Natural versus Automatic exhibit at the Jewish Community Center, who shares the importance of art in our community.
If you or I are looking at the same piece of art, same painting, say, we're not going to see exactly the same thing. As viewers, we're bringing in a whole lifetime of experiences into what we're seeing, and that goes with anything, not even just art, any situation, any experience. And with art, it's a fairly intimate one-on-one experience because you're bringing your experience to the artist's experience. Every painting, every sculpture, every any work of art, any song, whatever it is, is sort of a culmination of their life experiences to that point. You've got 9 artists here, so you've got 9 worldviews, 9 perspectives, and you're kind of getting a microcosm of the world. You're getting a bunch of different sets of experiences, different worldviews, and I think a lot of the art here has almost sort of a surreal, dreamlike quality to it. And when you stand here and look at it, you're sort of enveloped by it.
Ross goes into further detail, analyzing a piece from the gallery.
This is one of Anthony Mann's pieces. It is called Naomi, I believe. This piece, I think, is really strong because you can sort of get a sense, you don't know this person, but you can get a sense of, there's almost, you can't really tell if it's like despair or longing or there's something in her face, It's almost like her eyes are out of focus. She's got like that 1,000-yard stare, And I think it's interesting how she's flanked by these 2 pieces by Bo and Klein, which are both like seascapes. It's almost kind of like what you can imagine she's seeing and how she's seeing.
Ross tells us why it's important to have galleries in the community.
Art is a shared cultural experience, and as a society these days we have fewer and fewer shared cultural experiences, a lot of people are walking around with their own curated playlists on their headphones, we're not all listening to the same radio stations anymore, watching the same TV shows, but you can still have shared cultural experiences when you go to a gallery, when you see art, and by extension, every time you look at a painting, you're getting a whole nother lifetime of perspective and experience and background,
I'm definitely looking forward to some new cultural experiences, so I'm going to take a look around at some of this art. Reporting for The Splash, I'm Ollie Hattie.
For more, you can visit civiccentertv.com/naturaljcg. Later in the show, we honor a detective, and we also hear about how hemp can help on The Splash.
Don't go away. You're watching The Splash on Civic Center TV.
This hour of programming is brought to you in part by Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital. 10 years ago, Henry Ford Health System celebrated the grand opening of its West Bloomfield Hospital. Since then, they've celebrated innovative new technologies, medical breakthroughs, and unique approaches to health and healing. To learn more about Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital, visit henryford.com/West Bloomfield 10. Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital is a proud sponsor of Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
And now, back to The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Welcome back to The Splash. I'm Brooke Allen. Thank you for being with us. One of the detectives from the West Bloomfield Police Department was honored by her department for all the great work she's achieved. Ryan Younglove brings us the story.
I'm here today at the West Bloomfield Police Headquarters, where today we honor one of West Bloomfield's finest.
Being recognized is kind of like not usual for me, so and especially when you're in law enforcement, like you're so used to helping other people and communicating with other people about them. So it's unusual to have it be on you, but it's appreciated for sure. And it reminds you why you're doing your work. So you kind of get a new fire lit and you want to keep going to help the community and other people. The Fraternal Order of Police, who gave me the award today, they accept nominations from local police departments for officers who have gone over and above in community service. So I think that's how my name got brought up, is because of my community service, the boards that I'm on, the current position that I hold. So that's why we're here today, and I enjoy it a lot. I think it's very fun. It's challenging, but it's also very fun.
Detective Rocher really went above and beyond. She's out there. She's really the face, one of the faces of our police department. She's engaging the community, and she's she's out there with our nonprofits, really making a difference day to day. I think anytime you recognize someone's achievement, it's a positive thing. That's something that we could actually do a better job of here. So we really appreciate the fact that the FOP came in and presented this community award to Detective Rocher, and certainly is something that we're going to piggyback on in the future. This was an individual award today, but really it's an award that we accept on behalf of the entire team here. Whether you're sworn or civilian, it's really a team effort to accomplish all that we've accomplished and develop the amazing relationship we have with our community. So we're super proud of Detective Rocher, but we're proud of the entire team.
On this day, Detective Rocher was honored for her outstanding community service, and with an excellent team behind her, this brings joy to the entire department and to West Bloomfield as a whole. This has been Ryan Younglove reporting for The Splash.
To know more, you can visit civiccentertv.com/WBPD Service Award. And now it's time for the Civic Center TV event update, where we provide you with upcoming events going on in our community. And for a look at additional events, visit civiccentertv.com/events. Dispose of prescription drugs with Operation Medicine Cabinet, happening year-round in West Bloomfield, Kego Harbor, and Orchard Lake. This project takes place at the police departments of the 3 communities. Disposing of drugs completely anonymous, open 24/7 at West Bloomfield, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Kego Harbor, and Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. in Orchard Lake. For more information, visit oakgov.com or call your local police. Get your babies, get your books, because Books and Babies is here. Fridays, 10:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. The West Bloomfield Public Library hosting their Books and Babies event. These events help introduce your baby to books to help stimulate brain development. There is no registration or cost required. For more information, visit westbloomfieldlibrary.org. In the library, no one can hear you scream because it's a library and you shouldn't be loud. Oh, and also they are discussing the film Alien by Ridley Scott. This film discussion is taking place on February 10th from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the West Bloomfield Public Library. The movie will not be shown, and there is also no cost required. For more information, go to wblib.org. The West Bloomfield Library not only has stories, but they also have songs. Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Visit the library with your child to enjoy some dual language stories and songs that will help lay an early foundation for learning a second language for kids. Not only will there be songs and stories, but also fun activities and games. Registration not required. For additional information, you can go to westbloomfieldlibrary.org. And that's it for this week's highlights. You can find more events online at civiccentertv.com/events and see everything going on in the greater West Bloomfield area. We're going to take a short break, but when we return, I'll sit down with Lynn Lipman from Hempworx.
Don't go away. You're watching The Splash on Civic Center TV.
You want it, you got it. Civic Center TV has been bringing you live coverage of your local municipal meetings for years. Now you can catch a replay of those meetings the following day at 1 o'clock and again on Saturdays and Sundays at 9 a.m. If that's not enough, you can also visit civiccentertv.com/meetings to view a whole list of on-demand township board meetings and keep up to date on the most recent developments in your local government. Giving you more, it's Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
And now, back to The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Welcome back to The Splash. I'm joined this week by Lynn Lipman, affiliate from Hempworx. And thank you, Lynn, so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so we are talking about CBD, but first, I want you to tell us the misnomers about CBD.
So there are 2 misnomers that I can think of off the bat. One of them is that CBD is addicting. CBD is not addicting. CBD will never be addicting. It only has 0.03% of THC in it. CBD will never make you high if you are using a quality product. It will only have 0.03% of THC in it.
Okay, so you mentioned quality product. I mean, we know we can go pretty much anywhere, right? We can go to gas stations. We can go to a lot of different places and see CBD oil right there, or products right there on the counter. So those you probably want to check into.
I would totally be checking into it. When you're buying CBD, you want to make sure that you're buying a pure product. It is a supplement that is not supervised by the FDA. So whatever company you're buying, you want to go online and you make sure that they are tested by an independent third party. And you want to look at the results online. You want those results to be public to be sure that you are getting that quality product.
Okay, so we are talking about Hempworx as
Correct.
well. So tell me what that is.
So Hempworx is an affiliate of My Daily Choice. Hempworx is a brand of CBD products. We have been approved, we are third-party tested, and we have been approved by the U.S. Hemp Authority to make sure we are top quality, we are pure, we are exactly what we say we are.
So as far as CBD oil, you hear that it does a lot. It's like a miracle worker for some different conditions.
Correct.
Like I suffer from migraines. So I know that some people have told me, you know what, try this. It will really help you. So tell me what you say to that.
So I can't tell you it will really help you because it is a supplement and we don't know because all the testing. However, I suggest you to try it because there are so many people that have had relief, including myself, from that kind of a situation.
So as far as conditions like anxiety, maybe like upset stomach all the time, or depression, I mean, does CBD oil help with, or any product help with those?
Again, I can suggest that you would use this CBD. We know that a lot of our digestive issues are due to inflammation. CBD is 20 times more potent and is an anti-inflammatory than your over-the-counter items that you would be buying at the drugstore.
Okay, so we have a couple of products out here.
We do.
So can you tell me what these are?
So we have CBD oils. We have, I don't have the 500, we have the 750 and our 1500. We also have our relief cream and our gummy bears. When you're taking CBD oil, we suggest that you start with the 500. As you go up in the potency, it's also more expensive, so you don't want to spend extra money on something you don't need to. But we suggest that everybody starts with the 500 with 3 to 5 drops under your tongue twice a day. Some people end up with diarrhea because we have an endocannabinoid system in our body, and you kind of might go through a detox. So 3 to 5 drops twice a day, and then going up 3 to 5 drops every 3 to 5 days.
Oh, okay.
Which is really interesting. So I don't have the 500, but we have the 750 and the 1500, and this is for people who obviously need more. The topical relief is amazing. You can put that where you think you might need it.
So if I had a migraine, could I rub that on my head?
It could potentially give you some relief.
Okay.
And your trigger points,
right.
Absolutely. We also have CBD for dogs.
Yes, I find this really interesting.
So all mammals have an endocannabinoid system. It was discovered, I think, in 1993, somewhere around there, by an Israeli and American scientist. So all mammals have the endocannabinoid system, which is why it will work on your pets, on your dogs, on your cats. Horses take them. Again, any mammal can take them. We have the 250 for the pets, and then we also, for our dogs, we have bacon-flavored dog treats, which is pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. So tell me what I do have a dog, and he's kind of a nervous Nelly. So tell me, as far as pets go, it just helps them kind of calm down?
It can help settle them down. Help, again, the same thing with people. Some digestive issues. It can help them sleep also with the jitterness when they're so anxious because they love you so much when you're leaving the house and those kinds of things. I understand some dogs and cats get really anxious when the storms come.
Right. Oh, yes, definitely for thunder and lightning as well, right?
Yeah,
and fireworks. That's a huge thing.
That's huge. So, like I said, anything that you would be using it for yourself, we suggest that to try it for your pet.
And it's safe.
It is totally safe if you're buying a quality product.
Right.
That's huge. If you're not buying that quality product,
then you don't know.
You have no clue.
Okay, so tell me where people can find more information.
So on my webpage, gettinghealthywithcbd.com, you can find more information. You can reach out to me at my email, which is Lynn, Lynnbtl, the number 1, @gmail.com.
Okay, so if you had one thing that you could tell people about CBD, what would it be?
So I was on other substances for a very, very long time that I couldn't live without. The one thing I would tell people is there is a choice. There are options. It might not be fun going from one to the other, but oh my God, there is life, and you do have a choice.
And it does make a difference.
It makes a huge difference. For me, it gave me my life back.
Okay, thank you so much.
Oh my God,
it has been a pleasure to meet you. And again, we've been joined by Lynn Lipman from Hempworx. Next on the show, we hear about tutoring on this week's episode of Parenting on the Go. Hi, welcome to Parenting on the Go. I'm Brooke Allen, and joining me today is Alex Ho, owner of Sylvan Learning. So thank you for being with us today.
Thank you.
And Sylvan Learning, so tell me, what is that?
So, Sylvan Learning, we're a nationwide tutoring center. There's about 800 of us. It's kind of like McDonald's, individually owned. Okay. Our center in West Bloomfield was started by my parents 30 years ago. I took it over about in 2012. What we do is we tutor all ages, K through 12. And we tutor in all subject areas. So whether it's, and what we try to do is be a one-stop shop for any parent looking for assistance for their child. So whether that's that one-off tutoring hour that you might see your son struggling with maybe a particular homework assignment. Normally he's a pretty independent student, but one day he just has an issue, you want to stop in for a one-off, to something kind of like regimented. We also have those too.
Oh, okay. So like a big project in the works and you need help.
Yes.
You can come to you.
Yes, absolutely.
Or the regimented once a week.
Exactly.
Okay. And you mentioned all grades. So tell me the different subjects that you've noticed kids struggle with at different ages.
So I would say at the high school level, it's typically math. Math or ACT or SAT related. Algebra 1 is really, which is typically taught at the 8th and 9th grade level, is kind of the key to understanding higher level math topics. So we definitely see a lot of Algebra 1 related math questions at the upper middle to high school. And of course, when they're, when they're still the babies, kindergarten, first grade, right. There's generally, a lot of concern and regarding reading, writing. So that's pretty much typically what we see.
Okay, so let's go back to, you mentioned the ACT and the SAT.
Yeah.
So do you specialize in prepping for those, or what kind of help do you offer with that?
Yes, absolutely. So with the ACT, SAT, obviously very, very important assessments. And we have, kind of going back to my one-stop shop, we have programs that are as little as 4 hours that'll kind of give your son or daughter a good overview of what the test will be, for them to kind of, like for instance, if they've never opened a book about it before or never had too much information about it, we kind of spend a few hours with them so they get a good overview, and then they can go home, digest it, and spend the time doing that independent learning, and then come back to you, mom or dad, and say, hey, I've figured out what I'm great at here. These are some areas I want to do more help with. Can I go back? So that's kind of like a good starter program. Then we have, very comprehensive programs that are, 8 weeks long, 2 days a week, 2 to 4 hours a day.
So intense.
Very intense programs. Okay. And then we have ones that are micro-focused. We realize not every student, wants to get a perfect score. Some just want to improve their score of 100 points so they can get into a particular school, get a particular scholarship. So based upon what your child will need, we can look at your test scores and say, you know what, we can get those 100 points by just focusing here. Oh. So we don't need to look at the whole test.
So really specialized.
Yes.
Okay. So let's go back to the little kids for a minute. Like you mentioned reading, and that's going to become more important because of the third grade reading law.
Yes.
So have you seen an uptick in parents' concern, or how's that working out for you?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have, whenever parents send their kids for tutoring with us, we'll also reach out to school teachers as well as principals and just introduce ourselves, just so we can make what we teach more relevant to the classroom. And I have by far seen a lot more referrals from principals asking for, what we do for kids of that age, so they can start to, for their students, get them extra help, just so they're ready for that important test that you mentioned.
Okay, and it's all about getting the students ready and actually finding their passion as well and what they're good at too, huh?
Yeah, we're a tutoring company, but what we really want to do is just make students enjoy school more, at least the academic part of it. It may not be so much a test score, but just the process of it, doing homework, taking the test, just making that easier and helping their self-growth.
Thank you so much, and that's very important.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
And thank you for watching this episode of Parenting on the Go. And if you would like to look up more helpful parenting tips, you can visit the West Bloomfield Youth Assistance website at wbyouthassistance.org. And for more episodes of Parenting on the Go, visit civiccentertv.com/parenting to go. And now it's time for our final segment, Person of the Week, where we celebrate the people in the community who are inspiring and providing toward others. And this week's recipient is Ed Hapola. Ed is the Utilities Director for the Water Utilities Department in West Bloomfield. His work is incredibly important in keeping the residents of our community safe in their homes and in public. And he does this by making sure that we have and maintain high standards when it comes to the water we consume and use. He also keeps the residents informed about all of the latest and greatest water news in our area. And this dedication to water in our community is what makes him our Person of the Week. And if you know someone making a positive difference, let us know. Message us on social media with any and all suggestions, because we want to congratulate and acknowledge those making a difference in our community. That's it for this week's show. You can watch new episodes anytime online in HD at CivicCenterTV.com. Tuesdays at 5:30 p.m. Civic Center TV on Comcast 15 and AT&T Channel 99. Follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Civic Center TV. And you can also listen to me weekdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on WWJ Newsradio 950. For all our friends in Sylvan Lake, Orchard Lake, Kego Harbor, and West Bloomfield, I'm Brooke Allen. Thank you for watching The Splash.